Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mama Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chakrunimilitan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jana Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sopadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapadakkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanam Cha Sirupam Sagrajatam Saganaritam Sri Visakhambitam Cha Lalitam Sri Visa Lalitam Sri Visakhambitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisya Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatrivasya Kripa Sindhuvaiva Patitanam Bhavanabhya Vaishnavabhya Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Samiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pasat Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Hare Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today is very auspicious Ekadashi day, and on this very auspicious Ekadashi day, as Prabhupada said, that it is meant for more and more increasing our chanting. Upabasa, real upabasa means near to, close to come to God by the process of hearing. So Prabhupada strongly recommended all the devotee to increase our chanting and hearing about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So today, Ekadasi special, today is called Bharuthini Ekadasi, actually Bharuthini Ekadasi. On this very auspicious Ekadasi day, we should discuss about the glories and summary of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So before we start our discourse, we should offer our obeisances to the offer our invocation Mangalacharan to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Narayana Namaskritta Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudira Nasta Prayasu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. So it is said that before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Naranarayana Rishi, the supermost human being, and unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva author. And by regular attendance in the classes on Bhagavatam and rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed. And loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental song, is established as an irrevocable fact. Very, very important, because Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the process of receiving this transcendental knowledge is not whimsical, or you can buy a books, and it's not a book trafficking, a kind of, buy a books and put on the shelf for accumulating dust, or you cannot understand by the process of just like, buy the books and put on the deity room and cover with the white, yellow or red cloth. You cannot understand this. It is not comprehensible by this process. Just like a sugar cane, you just hold your sugar cane, you cannot get the taste. You have to crush it, taste it. Similarly, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is meant for to study, to read, to hear particularly. That is very important. So hearing is very important, Bhagavatam hearing. It is stated in these beautiful verses that one should pivanti. You say that pivanti ye bhagavatatmanah satam kathamrutam sravanam putesu sambhritam punnenti cha visaya vidusitasayam Brajanti tascharana sarurahantikam. So these beautiful verses say that those who drink through the oral reception, fully filled with nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of devotee, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of God. You see, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is how great. The greatness of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the gargantuan benefit of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is that anybody pibanti who hears this Bhagavatam, the message of Bhagavatam, and they will go back to Godhead. And it will, by purifying the polluted aim of life. So our material bondage is due to the polluted aim of life, under the illusion, under the ignorance, under the influence of the material energy of the Lord Maya. So it will purify the polluted aim of life. Therefore it is said that nasta prayesu abhadresu. Abhadra means all this polluted aim of life. Everybody has created some dharma. That is called abhadra dharma. All this abhadra dharma, they are not bhagavata dharma. Everybody has created some kind of dharma. Therefore Krishna say, whole idea of coming to here or is descending on the earth, yada yada dharmasya glanir, when there is a discrepancy in the bhagavat dharma, when there is a discrepancy in hearing the message of Bhagavatam as it is from a bona fide source, that time Krishna descends to establish Bhagavat dharma. Sometimes people say that, sometimes devotee may confuse that Krishna say in chapter 4, text 7 that I come to establish the dharma. But 18th chapter, 66 verses, which is the supreme instruction, which is the quintessential philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, which is the most important instruction of Bhagavad Gita, sarva dharman parityāja mam ekam saranam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mukhyasami ma sucha. So it looks like a contradiction of teaching of Krishna. No, there is no contradiction. Krishna here says sarva dharman parityaga. What kind of dharma? The kaitava dharma. This abhadra dharma, motivated, personally motivated dharma. That kind of cheating dharma rejected. Then surrender to me. That is the real dharma. That is real Bhagavat dharma. Krishna ends with rejecting all kind of cheating dharma. So many cheating dharma is going on. People are approaching the Lord simply for their sense gratification. For dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Therefore, they do not want to open the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and read it. They simply want to bring it to home so that I can have a... No, it will enhance our material conditioning. That is called polluted aim of life. That is called polluted dharma. Cheating dharma. Bhagavat Saptaha. They are conducting Bhagavat Saptaha only for the purpose of increasing the material condition. Those, the speaker and here, those who are hearing, both are having some kind of material motivation. Nowhere in this Bhagavatam say that Bhagavata 7 days you should hear. No, Nityam Bhagavata Seva, regularly. Because to purify the dirty things, purify the cheating things from the heart, it takes time. Because this cheating thing not in this life. It has been accumulated since time immemorial. We have been taking birth, millions, trillions of years, trillions of birth in different spaces. Therefore, regular attendance on the classes on Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita ends with rejecting the Kaitava dharma, cheating religion, which is personally motivated. Everybody is now 99% of the people, they are approaching the God for some kind of material benefit. That is not real dharma. Real dharma means how to develop the love of Godhead, love for Krishna. This is our real dharma, means is nature. It's not a faith. It loosely translated by in the dictionary, it is a faith. No. Just like a dharma of fire, heat and light. Dharma of sugar is sweet. Dharma of water is liquidity. Dharma, what is our dharma? The real nature, a dharma of living entity, to develop the love of Godhead, to become a servant of God, to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. That is, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said that Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnara Nitya Das. So when we are not in a real nature, where there is a discrepancy, where we are not, performing our real nature, real dharma, we are trying to artificially adopting the cheating dharma and trying to be happy in this material world. But eventually we are not satiated. Consequently, we are not satiated. We are not happy. We are dying and we are transmigrating from one birth to another birth. We do not know our aim of life. Because we do not know aim of life, our aim of life is polluted under the influence of this material nature. So we have to suffer from one birth to another, transmigrating from one birth to another birth. In this way, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani justare. We are moving from one womb of the mother to another womb. Different species of life. Sometimes it is stated in Bhagavatam. Sometimes we take different species, 429, we take some different species of life. In this way, we are rotating in this material world, covered by mode of ignorance in material nature, living entity, sometimes male, sometimes female, sometimes inner, sometimes human being, sometimes a demigod, sometimes a bird, animal, so on. In this way, is wandering within material world. His acceptance of different type of body is brought about by his activity under the influence of mode of nature. So our activities, our aim of life, everything is polluted. Therefore, Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. That is the last final instruction of the Supreme Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And when Krishna ends that, Bhagavatam starts with Dharma Projita Kaitava. Bhagavatam begins with the surrendering to that ultimate source. Janmadesya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Satyam Paramadimahi. Bhagavad Gita is just a fundamental knowledge, ABC of spiritual science. But graduation is Bhagavatam. Where the Bhagavad Gita ends, Bhagavatam starts there. Start there. How you start there? Now, by surrendering to Krishna, it begins with the surrendering to who is the source of power, who is the ultimate source. Even we do not know ultimate source. We do not know the ultimate source. That means Bhagavatam starts where even the science, material science fails. Material science struggling to know who is the ultimate source. They even do not know what is soul. They are so much into the material, gross and subtle thing. Even no subtle, gross thing mostly. The highest is metaphysics, quantum theory. Quantum theory is there. The highest of science, material science, is the beginning of Bhagavad Gita even. What to speak about Bhagavatam? In the very beginning, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Dehinam swim jatha de komuram jauvanam chattatha dehantara. We are different from the body, we are spirit, soul. So they have not even, science even not reached to that point. That is the end of science, When spirituality begins, when there is the end of science. Bhagavad Gita begins where the science has not yet come to that point of discovery, invention. And Bhagavatam starts when Bhagavad Gita ends. How great the Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, it is a graduate study of Bhagavad Gita. It's a graduate study of spiritual science. He starts with this, begins with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Satyam Paramadimahi. Who is that ultimate source whom we should surrender? Everybody is surrendering, either boss, wife, children, traffic, police also. But here, the beginning of Bhagavatam, it is said that surrendering to Krishna, surrendering to supreme truth, ultimate truth. Janmadesya jatat nanmayati taratasya artesu abhigya swarat tena brahmodhyadika vyamuhyanti yasara tejavari mardam jatha vinimatra trisarga misra dhanvasena sada niristakukam satyam paramadimai. So here it is said that the ultimate source. And the next verse is said that dharma projita kaitava. Krishna say in the last verse that sarva dharman parityāja. The beginning of Bhagavatam also same thing. Dharma projita kaitava. Projita means prakeshta rupena ujita. Completely reject all kind of cheating religion. All kind of cheating religion. Because cheating religion will not bring you to perfection. Our perfection, the Vedas say that there are three things Vedas say that. Sambandha jnana, avidya, prayojana. First of all, we are ignorant. We do not know who am I. Everybody thinking I am this body and all the bodily paraphernalia, my wife, my children, my community, my society. In this way, they have created so many cheating dharma. On the basis of the misconception that I am this body, misidentified. And they created so many dharma. Hindu dharma, country dharma, community dharma. In this way, so many dharma they have created, cheating dharma. But here, Bhagavatam, rejecting all kind of things, because your misconception, your fundamental things are wrong, erroneous. You have a Himalayan blunder. You based on the material things, material body. Your conception is bodily. Therefore, you cannot, so-called your cheating dharma will not give you the proper result. Therefore, your polluted aim of life, your aim of life is polluted. You are thinking, I want to become happy in this material world. Everybody is working hard day and night to ameliorating the material conditioning. But they do not know howsoever sophisticated environment, gorgeous arrangement one create by his economic development, by his political maneuvering or scientific advancement, one cannot surpass the death. Death comes and ejects us ruthlessly, despite our tenacious determination to stay in this material world permanently, despite our desire to enjoy life perpetually, despite our gorgeous arrangement, death comes and ejects us. Therefore, the Bhagavatam is propound the highest truth. Highest truth. What is called Bhagavad Dharma? What is our real Dharma is Bhagavad Dharma. Our real Dharma is Bhagavad Dharma. What is that Bhagavad Dharma? Savai punsam paro dharma. This is the very beginning. The question is asked that what is this Bhagavad Dharma? What is the essence of all dharma? People created so many dharma. What is the essence of all dharma? Savai punsam paro dharma jato bhaktir adokya. To develop the love of Godhead. That is the highest dharma. Without bhakti, everything is very superfluous. It is stated that in Veda, first of all, you should have a sambandha jnana. You should know who am I, what is my relationship with God. And by knowing the first step of realization, then you should act according to that relationship. That is called abhidaya, relative function. First, we know our relation, who am I, what is my relationship with God. That we do not know. We are thinking, we misidentify with body. We just involve the God. The conception of God is only for our cheating dharma, how to get some profit, how to exploit the Lord, how to make him the delivery boy. Just like we delivery, pizza delivery, Zomato, this, that. So delivery boy, please, I want something, give me. I'm giving you some banana, some coconut, and you give me Rolls Royce, BMW. You give me the appraisal. This is our making a delivery boy, delivery man. That is the conception. So therefore, we should know what is, who am I, what is our relationship with Lord, and we should act according to that relationship. And finally, call prayojana, to go back to Godhead, to go back to Him by developing the love for Him. Because Krishna says, without developing the love, you cannot go back to it. Actually, the love is there, already dormant. It is dormant. Simply by hearing, as we read that by hearing it, one can go back to God. We can revive that love. It's not like a creating artificial imposition on the love of the on the heart or on the mind. I have to develop love, develop love. No. It is already there. It is dormant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that Nitya Suddha Krishna Prema Sadhu Sadhya Kabunaya Sravanadi Suddha Chite Karya. That love which is dormant in our heart can be awakened by the process of hearing Bhagavatam. Even Bhagavatam itself say, Vasudev say that now we are suffering. Now we all are suffering in this material world. Anartha upasamam sakhyat bhakti yogam adakyad lokasya jnata viddam chakre satastu samhita. So the material misery of the living entity which are superfluous to him can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass people do not know this. Therefore, learned Vasudev compiled this Vedic literature which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. So here, why the Vasudev compiled this? Because we are suffering, but we are not meant to suffer. We are the part and parcel of the Lord. We are supposed to be associated with Lord in the spiritual world. Because of our mistake of turning away his face, turning away our face from the Lord, mistake of sense enjoyment separately from the Lord. So we are now suffering in this material world. To mitigate this suffering, we only have to link the devotional service. By the linking process of devotional service. And Bhagavatam propound this highest truth that is called bhakti. Bhagavatam is meant to awakening that bhakti, awakening the linking process of devotional service, so that everybody can mitigate the material misery and eventually go back to Godhead. Therefore, the learned Vasudev compiled this Vedic literature. Anything which is not Krishna consciousness, that is called cheating religion. But this Bhagavatam is pure, nirmassaranam satam. Why? Because it propounds the highest truth. Because it entails the sambandha, avidya, and prayojana jnana. It entails the bhakti, how to develop bhakti for Krishna. So how we can get it? The process also given by Vasudev. The author himself is saying, this all author is saying, Jasyang bhai Sriyamanam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Rutpadati Punsam Sokam Moho Bhayopaha. So he told that what is the process of developing bhakti? Simply by one's giving oral receptions to this Vedic literature, the feeling of loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, fearfulness. So the process is simple, simply by hearing the message attentively. Hearing the message of Bhagavatam enough to develop the sprout of the love for Krishna, loving devotional service for Krishna. And not only that, it also extinguishes all this material misery, the lamentations, the fear, and the illusion. That is the gargantuan benefit of hearing Bhagavatam. Therefore, it is stated thus beautiful verses in the glories of Bhagavatam. तस्माद् भारत सर्वात्मराजन् हरि सर्वता श्रोतैव कितितव्य स्मतैव भगवान् निन्नम्. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, remember Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. This is essential for every human being. It's not optional, it's essential, it's necessary. Hear about, glorify, remember. And Bhagavatam is the full of narration of the glorification of the Lord. We should hear the Bhagavatam. By this culture of hearing Bhagavatam, one can easily get out from this mess. Therefore, the learned scholars, Vasudev is also the incarnation of the Lord. So he compiled this Bhagavatam. Therefore, Bhagavatam stands out different from others, different from other literature. Therefore, it is called Mahapurana. It is said that Sarva Vedanta Sara. It is stated in these beautiful verses. It says that Sarva Vedanta Sara. This is beautiful verses. It says that Sarva Vedanta Sarahi iti Sarva Vedanta means it's essence of all this Vedanta. So Vedanta means, here you can see that say that Sarva Vedanta Sarami Sri Bhagavatam Isyate Tad Dasamrita Triptasya Nanyatra Sadrati Kasyat. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam declared to the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. Why Vedanta? Because Vedanta is called, Veda means knowledge. Veda is coming from the word called Vit. Vit means to understand or to know. Veda means knowledge. Vedanta means ultimate knowledge. So the essence of all this Vedanta philosophy is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Essence of all Vedic knowledge is a natural commentary of Bhagavatam. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that Amalam Pramanyam Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu certified the Bhagavatam. In his teaching, he has given that Ramya Kachid Upasana, Brajas Aradhya Bhagavanam Brajastatanaya Tad Dhama Bundavanam. Krishna is our worshipable deity. So is Bundavan, his abode. And Ramya Kachid Upasana Brajabadu Bargenuja Kalpita. The best devotee is the gopis. And he told Amalam Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Amalam Pramanyam. This is a spotless Purana. Prema Pumartha Mahan. And by reading Bhagavatam, one can develop Prema Pumartha Mahan, the highest purpose of human life, to develop the love for Krishna. That can be achieved by the process of Bhagavatam. Therefore, it is the essence of Vedanta. Vedanta also says the same thing. Sambandha Jnana, Avidya Prayojana. How we should know our relationship with God. We should act according to that relationship. And finally, we have to develop love of Godhead and go back to Godhead. Love for Godhead and go back to Him, spiritual world. That is Bhagavad Dharma. That constitutes Bhagavad Dharma. Therefore, this Vedanta philosophy, it is the essence of Vedanta philosophy. It is so nectarian that we do not need, once anybody has tasted this nectarian things, nobody will be, attracted to any other thing. Nobody will never be attracted to any other thing. Even when Bhagavatam was spoken, the great Sukadev Goswami, actually when he was spoken, there are so many sages were assembled here. Even his master, spiritual master, his great-grand spiritual master, his father, Narada Muni, Vasudev, everybody was present there to hear Bhagavatam. So therefore, it's a Nigama Kalpatalu Galitam Phalam. It is if Veda is called a desired tree, and the ripened fruit is Bhagavatam. It's like a nectarian juice. Therefore, Vasudev is inviting everybody come. It's not only it is not only the liberated soul, even a bad or is not bad, everybody should come. Everybody should come. Yesterday I was posting one article about Bhagavatam that everybody can come to Lord. There's no thing like bad, good. Everybody can come to the Lord without any prior things. Bad, either you are bad or good, everybody should come. There's a beautiful verses. It is say that 1540 1540 things that anybody can come to the Lord. In this verse, it is stated that that it's not like only liberated soul can hear. Either you are bad or good, everybody can come and hear. In these beautiful verses, it is stated that, please therefore describe the Almighty Lord's activities which you have learned from your vast knowledge of the Veda, for that will satisfy hankering of great learned men, at the same time mitigate the misery of the mass of the common people who are always suffering from material pang. Indeed, there is no other way get out from such misery. So this Bhagavatam is not a sectarian, it's not like for particular class of people. No, even the learned men can get the benefit, release this one. And also people, common people, those who are impious or pious, they will, both pious and impious, they will take the advantages of this Bhagavatam. That is the standard of Bhagavatam for everyone. Everyone. And particularly this Bhagavatam is compiled by particularly when Krishna has come, he come to establish this dharma, Bhagavad dharma. When he left with all Bhagavad dharma. So, but he leave this Bhagavad dharma in this book format, that is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is stated that in these beautiful verses of Bhagavatam, it is stated that when Krishna sodhamopagate dharma jnana adivisa kalu nastadissamesam, particularly in this age of Kali, where people have lost the vision. Everybody is now overwhelmed with cheating religion. Nobody after the Bhagavad dharma. So this Bhagavata, everybody is in darkness on account of not adopting this Bhagavad dharma. Not, therefore, people are in darkness. Kalu nastadrisam, they have lost the vision. So this Bhagavatam is coming like a brilliant sun to dissipate that ignorance. So Krishna has left it. Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as sun. It has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge. Person who have lost their vision due to dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. So Krishna, when he went, and again he appeared as a book incarnation, because Bhagavatam and Krishna non-different. kṛṣṇa-tulya bhāgavata vibhu sarvāśraya prati-śloke prati-akṣare nānā artha. This is a statement by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say that kṛṣṇa-tulya bhāgavata vibhu sarvāśraya prati-śloke prati-akṣare nānā artha. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is as great as Krishna. Just like Krishna comes as a Madhya avatar. So when Krishna comes as a literally incarnation, that is Bhagavatam. It's a book incarnation. Therefore, it is non-different Krishna. It is vibhu, as great as Krishna. And shelter of everything. In each and every verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, in each and every syllable, there are various meanings. So here it is said that Bhagavatam is as great. Even Padma Purana, it is said that all the 12, Bhagavatam has got 12 cantos, and all the 12 cantos are 12 limbs of the Supreme Lord. Pado yadu pathamaditu. First is, Bhagavatam says that first 2 cantos are the lotus feet of the Lord. Third, fourth is the thigh. Fifth, panchama navi, navel is 5. Sixth is chest. Seventh and eighth are the arms. Ninth is the throat. 10th is the Mukharavinda, beautiful face of the Lord. 11th is the forehead, 12th is the head. So therefore it is non-different. kṛṣṇa-tulya bhāgavata, literal incarnation. In these verses also it is said that it is a literal incarnation. It is a book incarnation. Idam bhāgavatam nama puranam brahma samitam uttama śloka charitam chakre cha chakara bhagavan rishini shreyasya lokasya dhanyam swasti ayanam mahat. The scripture named Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is literally incarnation of God. See, it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, incarnation of the God. It is a powerful Mahamuni, the empowered incarnation of the God, Satyavesa avatar. It is meant for ultimate good for the people. Nishreyasa. Nishraya prayer. Shreya means ultimate good of the people. It is all successful, all blissful, all perfect. Therefore, it is said that it is a very means of conquest. It will conquest all these unsuccessful, unblissful, unperfect things. It will conquest all kind of birth, death, disease, obnoxious things. It will conquest adhyatmik, adibautik, adidaivik, uprooting tapatraya mulanam. Very fast verses, Vyasadeva, the author, say, Bhagavatam is meant to uproot the tapatraya, all these threefold of misery everybody is going on. Misery by mind and body, misery by others, misery by calamities. By demigods or divine power. Calamities and all. So therefore it is all successful, all blissful, all perfect. Therefore anybody who wants to go back to Godhead, there is no other thing than Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the only one. If anybody wants to mitigate all the miseries and go back to Godhead, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the only way. Otherwise, very difficult. This material world is called a samudra setu, apara samudra setu, insurmountable ocean. So Padma Purana says that tamadi devam karunanidhanam. You are so merciful, my Lord. You have incarnated as a literal incarnation. So this is called Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the literal incarnation of God. You have appeared as a literal incarnation. Tamadi devam karunanidhanam tamalabannam sui avataram. Literal incarnation. Aparasam, why you have appeared as Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, my Lord? What is your cause? What is your purpose? Purpose is that apara samudra, apara sansara samudra setu. This material world is called apara sansara samudra setu. It's like an ocean, insurmountable, impassable ocean. And Bhagavatam is coming to breeze it. When there is no breeze, nobody can swim across this other side because it is insurmountable, impassable. It is very difficult to cross this material ocean. So Bhagavatam appears as a setu. Setu means breeze. Just like Ramachandra, he made a breeze over the Indian Ocean so that he can cross the ocean and kill Ravan. Similarly, Lord has in Dwapara Yuga, Lord has made this bridge also. Bridge not by stone, bridge of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is a bridge. Krishna has made it to cross, to let us, enable us to cross this ocean and conquer this. Therefore, Bhajamai Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is non-different, so everybody should worship Bhagavatam. Everybody. Sada Sarva. Sanatana Goswami say that Paramananda Pathaya. This is not like very sad, I have to read. Oh, no. Paramananda Pathaya. Prati-śloke prema varsa. Every sloka is like a raining of love of Godhead. Sarvatta sarva sevaya. Everybody should hear it, read it, service, do service. That is the statement of Sanatana Goswami. Even even our Prahlad Maharaj say that even a person from the 5 years, from the beginning of 5 years, one should read Bhagavatam. Prahlad Maharaj said very nice statement that uh, he said that to his classmate, Komara acharate pragya. Pragya means prakishta rupera agya, means perfectly knowledgeable. Komara acharate pragya dharman bhagavata iha dullabham manusya janma tadapi adurbham atada. That one who is sufficiently intelligent, pragya, prakishta rupera agya, should use the human form of body from very beginning of life. In other words, from tender age of childhood to practice the activity of devotional service, giving up all engagement. The human body is most relative. Although temporary like other body, it is meaningful because in human form of life, human life, one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of devotional service can give one complete perfection. Here, somebody may say that, sir, okay, you say that Bhagavatam is so great, kṛṣṇa-tulya bhāgavata. Krishna is non-different. Bhagavatam is the best. It will make you, it's like a breeze to cross. Anybody here, uh, they can get out from the misery of the life and go back to Godhead. You are glorifying so much, but okay. But I will study after I finish all my material encumbrance, material aspirations, material things. No. Here Prahlad Maharaj say that you do not know. You got a human form of life, which is labdha sudullabham. After many births, you have got this unique opportunity of having this human form of life, which has got a prerogative to hear Bhagavatam. The dogs are not meant to hear Bhagavatam. Actually, Bhagavatam meant for what is that? As a meant for those who are in mode of goodness. Dharma prajita kaitavatram nirmatsaranam satam. Nirmaschara. Those who are not envious, those who are in mode of goodness. Those who are mode of passion and ignorance, they are always envious each other. Those who are mode of goodness, for them actually. That is meant for those Bhagavatam. So here it is said that not that you have complete your business, complete retire from the job, then you will have time, you will invest. No, you do not know. Arthadam adurbam. Any time this material body can die. This lost, any moment this opportunity can be lost. We have given an opportunity of human body and given a very easy process to hear Bhagavatam and go back to Godhead. Particularly in this age of Kali, it has been provided, the concession has been given. But if you think that no, I will do it when I finish all my obligation, my aspiration, no, any moment it can be lost. Then it is a very precarious condition. You die, cats and dog die. What is the difference? Again you have to take bath. Therefore one should hear very from the beginning, because aim of the life, the next verses Prahlad Maharaj say that yathai purushasya Vishnu pada upasmanam. Because why? The human form of life affords one chance to return home back to Godhead. Therefore every living entity, especially in the human form of life, must engage in devotional service to the lotus feet of the Lord. Because this is only the spaces where one affords the chance to go back to Godhead by adopting the process of Bhagavad Dharma, which is mentioned in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, by hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. And it is stated in Bhagavatam that Sunnatam Sokitha Krishna. First of all, one may say that, sir, you say Bhagavatam is great. Bhagavatam should be heard by even from the time of tender age of 5. Kaumara means from the 5 years age. Like Prahlad Maharaj. 5 years he was teaching Bhagavatam. So from the 5 years one should learn. Because we may lose the life any moment. There is no guarantee. At least Sukadev Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj has got the notice period of 7 days. But we have no such notice period. Any moment we can leave this world. So Bhagavatam is the process of how to become immortal. Whole idea, Veda injunction enjoins that Amritama Murtuma Amritagamaya. We are living in a very mortal world. Mortal world means Murtu. Every time we die, we die. We plan for happiness, then we die. Again, we, according to our karma, we take birth, again die. So the process of getting out from repeated birth to immortal life, life without death. Everybody likes life without death. Nobody likes the temporary life. The process of transferring ourselves from the platform of death to platform of deathless. This is Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam will give us that process. It will bring us from the mortal platform to immortal platform, from darkness to light. Therefore, there's a beautiful verses in the Glories of Bhagavatam given by Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami say that ati nichoto karo. Who are very low, nicho uttaka, who is very low, and Bhagavatam by reading one can become very exalted. So from the mortal platform to immortal platform, from ignorance to light or knowledge, that is Bhagavatam. Therefore, the glories of Bhagavatam is everywhere. Everywhere has been mentioned throughout this Vedic literature, that how very important. It is stated in these beautiful verses that avishriti Krishna padararavinda chinoti abhadrani cha santonati satasya suddhim paramatma bhaktim jnanascha vijnana vairagya yuktam. So what will happen when you hear Bhagavatam? Remembrance of Lord Krishna lotus feet. You can remember the Lord, because whole Bhagavatam is the narration and pastime, transcendental activities, Adbhuta Karmana, wonderful and transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord and His pure devotee. So when you hear Bhagavatam, you will remember Krishna. When you remember Lord Krishna lotus feet, you destroy everything inauspicious. Our greatest good fortune, everybody wants to be fortunate. And it purifies the heart and bestows devotion for the Supreme Soul, along with knowledge and reach with realization and renunciation. Jnana Vairag also, the byproduct. So that is the tremendous, stupendous benefit of hearing Bhagavatam. This is the glories of Bhagavatam. Glories of Bhagavatam. In another places also it is said that tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam naman tadeva sasana manasamossamam tadeva sukkan navasosanam nennam yaduttama sloko jaso anugiyate. So the word describing the glories of all famous personality of Godhead are attractive, releasable, ever fresh. Indeed, such words are perpetual festival for the mind. They dry up the ocean of misery. Why Bhagavatam is famous? Because Bhagavatam is full of glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When you hear, it is releasable. It's always fresh. It's not like a newspaper. You read now and next day you don't read old paper. It is always ever fresh and releasable. And it's a perpetual festival for the mind. That is the divine pastime of the Lord. And dry up ocean of misery. The effect is that if you hear Bhagavatam, it will dry up ocean of misery. We have been so many years, so many lifetimes suffering. What to speak about little? Sometimes we have a problem, we cry. People cry, having a drop or 5 drop, 10 drop of eyes, 10 drop of tears. Here it is said that ocean of drops. You accumulate all your tears, make it ocean, that will be drying up by hearing Bhagavatam. How much the glories, how much power, how much the potency of Bhagavatam, how much benefit of hearing Bhagavatam. This is the greatness of Bhagavatam. Out of all kind of Purana, Bhagavatam is the highest Purana. Therefore it is a Sarva Vedanta, Brahma Sutram. So now the process is that, then what is the process? Process is simply by hearing. This process of hearing will bring us to the platform of love of Godhead. It is stated in this beautiful 4 verses, 5, 6 verses, 1 to 70 to 21, 6 verses, that Sunnatam Sokotha Krishna Punya Sarvana Kirtana Huda Antastani Avadrani Vidhunati Swasata. So it is by hearing the Bhagavatam is so auspicious, it will destroy or it will cleanses all this abhadrani, nasta prayasu abhadresu, all this infection, lost anger, greed, mode of passion, ignorance, which is symptomized by the lost anger, greed, all these things will destroy, illusion, everything will be destroyed. Everything will be cleaned up, all the infection, material infection. That is the first installment, first impact. Second one is that if every day regularly hear, if you regularly hear Nasta Prayashabhadra Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, so what will happen? It will, you come to the Naistiki Bhakti, you fixed up in devotion. There are two kind of bhakti, on Naistiki. On Naistiki means sometimes we are very much enthusiastic to engage in devotional service. Sometimes we are Haribol, sometimes Haribol. So this is the difference. Sometimes we are enthusiastic, sometimes we are demoralized in bhakti. So this is a on nice stick. It's not steady. So steady platform will come by regular attendance. And next, what is the next effect of Bhagavatam reading every day? Every day, if you read Tadorajatamo Bhava Chetatayranam, you will not be infected by the passion and ignorance. Because as soon as you are passion and ignorance state, you cannot approach Krishna. Because passion and ignorance will distract our attention from that. Because it is anger and greed, it is all this greed, mode of lower modes like passion, ignorance, lost, desire, hankering disappear. As long as we have got the lost, hankering disappear, we cannot approach Krishna. Krishna also say that de santi antagatam papam jananam punya karmanam tedandamuh. So we cannot approach Krishna with all these dirty things in the heart. We cannot in the lower mode. It's very difficult. And if you do every day in that culture of knowledge, by hearing, we can get the transcendental knowledge, science of Godhead, transcendental knowledge about Krishna. Evam prasanna manasa bhagavata bhakti yogata bhagavata tattva vijnanam. You know the science of Godhead. Mukta sangasya jayate. Thus established in the mode of unalloyed goodness. In this way, we will cross even goodness, come to the unalloyed goodness, Suddha Sattva platform. We will not be contaminated. All our material infection becomes zero. Mind has been enlivened by the contact with devotional service to the Lord. Gain scientific, positive scientific knowledge of personality of Godhead in the stage of liberation from material association. So now we gain this knowledge, scientific knowledge about devotional service. So what will happen when you get the scientific knowledge? All our knots, which is binding us since time memorial. Knots means all the attachment to body, attachment to the bodily paraphernalia like family, children, society, community, so on and so forth. So many sense gratification, bodily sense gratification. Thus not in the heart is pure, so all misgiving are cut into pieces. Chain of reaction is terminated when once see oneself one must. So here, by process of the culture of hearing Bhagavatam regularly, one can come to the point of disinfect from the material infection, material contamination, come to the stage of bhakti, understanding this, gaining the scientific knowledge, and all our misgiving, all our karma, all our attachment will destroy. Then we can go back to Godhead. That is the culture of how to hear Bhagavatam, by the process of hearing. What is the process of hearing? Culture of receiving Bhagavatam. So another very one big point, one thing, that from where we should receive this one and how we receive that. It is said that Nityam Bhagavata Seva, the two kind of Bhagavata is there. One is book Bhagavata, one is person Bhagavata. So one should hear who is this book Bhagavatam. We know this is the literal incarnation of the Godhead. Who is the person Bhagavatam? Person Bhagavatam is the one who conducted his life according to book Bhagavatam. His book person Bhagavatam. He is always conducting his life according to Bhagavatam, book Bhagavatam. So we should serve to both. Otherwise, we cannot get this. Because the proper way of receiving is from a pure devotee, from a book Bhagavata. एकांत आश्रय करे चैतन्य चरण यह भागवत पढ़ stated in these beautiful verses. यह भागवत पढ़ भागवत स्थाने एकांत आश्रय करे एकांत आश्रय करी चैतन्य चरणे सॉरी अंत्या. It is said that यह भागवत पढ़ वैष्णव स्थाने एकांत आश्रय करे चैतन्य चरणे. So here it says that if you want to understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he said you must approach a self-realized Vaishnava, hear from him. You can do this when you have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there is a very good point here. 2 points is very important. First of all, you cannot hear Bhagavatam from Tom, Dick and Harry, neither any Vaishnava or professional reciter. One should hear Bhagavatam from a person Bhagavatam. So here we are discussing on the purport, on this verse, on the purport of the, on the teaching of the pure Bhagavatam, Prabhupada. Therefore, our understanding is very clear. Our process is very authentic, very bona fide. Because everything we are discussing on the, discourse on this teaching or book of purport of Mahabhagavat, pure devotee, book Bhagavat, sorry, person Bhagavat Prabhupada. So this is the method. Yaha Bhagavata Pada Vaishnava Rastane. You cannot, without Vaishnava, we cannot. Vaishnava Rastane. Ekanta Asra Kari Chaitanya Chalane. Why Ekanta Asra Kari Chaitanya Chalane? This is very, very important. Because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that, very good statement about the glories of Bhagavad. He told that even all these books, all this knowledge is abolished from the library, from the world. As Bhagavatam is there, then we are not losing anything. What is the use of this Jada Vidya, which will not give us anything? Rather, it will increase our complexity. So, here it is said that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati say that we should approach, we should those who have studied Bhagavatam, because Chaitanya Charitamrita came later. But a person who read the Bhagavatam through Chaitanya Charitamrita, his reading of Bhagavatam is complete. That is the statement of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Unless one takes shelter of Chaitanya Charane and learn the Bhagavatam from a Bhagavat, one cannot. See why? Another point is there. See, Bhagavatam is the natural commentary or essence of Vedanta Sutra. There are so many Acharya has given commentary on Vedanta. But those Vedanta, but they have not recognized Bhagavatam. If they have not recognized Bhagavatam, we do not follow them. We do not follow them. Like Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, we follow them because they have accepted the Bhagavatam. Accepted Bhagavatam in the essence of Vedanta Sutra. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted Amalam Pramanam, natural commentary on Bhagavatam, natural commentary of Vedanta Sutra. So unless one takes shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his understanding is not completed. Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that we should read Bhagavatam through Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita, most of them, the teaching of Bhagavatam is there. Because Chaitanya Charitamrita is a book which is compiled by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. It's a practical demonstration of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita. Practical demonstration. There's a theory, is a practical demonstration. So through Chaitanya Charitamrita, one can understand Bhagavatam more complete. And one should approach a One should hear from the bona fide sources. Therefore, we are stick to Prabhupada, our Acharya Parampara, disciplic succession. This is the process. Because one cannot understand Bhagavatam without approaching a pure devotee, without hearing from a pure devotee. We do not know even ABC of Bhagavatam, but by reading Prabhupada, by hearing and reading Prabhupada books, and by discussing on these books, we are gaining this positive scientific knowledge about the God, Krishna. By this process, by this culture. Lord Shiva said that, Na Buddha, not that I am a materially very qualified, I can understand Bhagavad Gita. No, Na Buddhaya Natika. We cannot understand. Only by bhakti one can understand. And to gain bhakti, we need to approach a bhakta who has got bhakti. It is stated in this verse. What is this verse? Aham Vedmi 24:3:124. Aham Vedmi, Vyasa Vedmi. So this is a beautiful verses spoken that 24:3:1-3. So it is stated here that aham vedmi sukha vedmi vyasa beti na beti va bhaktya bhagavatam graham na buddhaya na tikaya. It is stated here that Lord Shiva said, I may know, Sukadev Goswami, the son of Vasudev may know. Vasudev may know, may not know Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. On the whole, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the spotless Purana, can be learned only through devotional service, not by material intelligence, speculative method, or imaginary. So here it is very, very important statement. Here say that Vasudev author also may or may not know. Why? Because actually Bhagavatam got the two editions. Initially Bhagavatam is written with a very short explanation, which after writing this first edition of Bhagavatam and all other Puranas and Vedanta Veda, Jiva Goswami has quoted this one, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He told after writing all these things, he was not satisfied. All the Purana, even Bhagavad Purana also, very short form he has written. He was not happy. Then Narada Muni came and he instructed that you have not glorified the Lord directly. You have not broadcasted the message of the Lord. Therefore, you are not happy. So you will compile Bhagavatam and broadcast the message of God directly. Therefore, it says it is stated here that sometimes one may speak Bhagavatam, but sometimes we do not know how he speaks. Prabhupada says that I do not know how I write this book. Krishna came write for me. Therefore, the author himself is not owning, is not claiming his ownership on the writing. Prabhupada himself is claiming that I have not written this, because I cannot write this. I don't know how it is written so without anything. It's not beyond my qualification. Therefore, sometimes author is not, may or may not know, because he is empowered to write. Just like Vasudev was empowered to write by Narada Muni. Empowered by Narada Muni to write. Therefore, Lord Shiva says may or may not. And other point, Lord Shiva has said that not by material qualification, I am IIT, MIT, Oxford, Harvard, pass out, I can understand Bhagavatam. No. By devotional service. By devotional service one can understand. Otherwise, no way. So therefore it is stated in these beautiful verses that Narada Muni said, you have hardly broadcasted the sublime, spotless glories of personality of Godhead. That philosophy which does not satisfy the transcendental sense of the Lord is considered worthless. Worthless. Where there is no glories, a book without glories of the Lord is a worthless book. And it is stated that this book is like a Bayasam Tirtham, is a, is a pilgrimage of the crows. Crows are very much interested. Crows are very much interested in filthy place. So, if any literature which does not have the glories of the Lord, does not contain the glories of the Lord sufficiently, that literature is called Bayasam Tirtham, the pilgrimage of crow. Is a filthy place. Nobody likes to go. Nayat bachas chitra padam hared jasa jagat pabritam pagrinita karchit tad bayasam titham usanti manasa netrahamsa nirmanti usikhya. So those who do not describe the glories of the Lord, who alone can sanctify the atmosphere of the whole universe, are considered by saintly person to be like unto a place of pilgrimage for crows. So therefore we should not divert our attention to any other literature other than Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Chaitamurti, whatever Prabhupada is given. Biga vasarga janataka viplava jasmin prati-ślokam avadavanti api. On the other hand, the literature which is full of description of the transcendental glories of the name, fame, funds, pastime of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental word, directs toward bringing about a revolution in the pious life of this world's misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literature, even though imperfectly composed, are heard song accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So, how the position of the Bhagavad? Is Narada Muni say that no, there is no description. You write Bhagavatam. Therefore, Bhagavatam is full of narration. It is stated in this beautiful verse that what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is from the beginning to end. The Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is full of narration of that encourage renunciation of material life as well as nectarian accounts of Lord Hari's transcendental pastime, which give ecstasy to saintly devotees. This Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedanta philosophy because it is a subject matter of the absolute truth, which while none different from the spirit soul is ultimate reality, one without a second. The goal of literature is exclusive devotion unto the Supreme Lord. The goal of this literature is exclusive devotion. Anya vilasita sunyam, exclusive devotion to the Supreme Lord, Supreme Truth. Highest truth, highest achievement. Prema Pumarthaman, highest achievement to develop the unalloyed devotional service. It is stated that in this verse, Bhagavatam, that highest things is to develop the Savai Punsam Paro Dharma Jato Bhaktir Odhokyasa Ahituki Apratyatam Jajatma Suprasidhati. The supreme occupation dharma, that is called Bhagavad Dharma. Not this Krishna says Sarva Dharma means all cheating dharma. Supreme occupation of Bhagavad Dharma or Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma also Bhagavad Dharma. For all humanity is that by which man can attain the loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated, uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. It is called Ahituki Bhakti, exclusive devotion. And Bhagavatam is meant for that. The purpose of Bhagavatam is exclusive devotion to the Lord. Therefore, Bhagavatam stands out tough, stands out lofty as compared to any other literature. Because without bhakti, all other things are very superfluous. It is stated in this verse that bhagavata bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa, all this apranasya deha sammandanam lokam ranjanam. For a person devoid of devotional service, birth in great family or nation, knowledge of revealed scripture, performance of austerity, penance, and chanting of Vedic mantra are like ornament on the dead body. Such ornament simply serve the concocted pleasure of general people. That is useless. All going on, everything going on in material world is all things jati, shastra, japa, tapa. All this unnecessary. This is an ornament of dead body. What is the use of that? Supposing dead body you have given Kohinoor Hira. What is the useless? Therefore, without bhakti, everything is useless. And Bhagavatam is all about bhakti. Exclusive bhakti. That bhakti is there. There are different bhakti is there. Here, exclusive bhakti. Sakama bhakti, niskama bhakti is exclusive bhakti. Therefore, everybody should hear Bhagavatam and from a bona fide source to develop the love of Godhead. Bona fide source. Without sadhu sangha, nobody. In association of devotee only one can discuss, one can hear Bhagavatam. Alone one cannot understand alone. So this is the process, this is the glories of Bhagavatam. There are so many glories from Padma Purana and so many literature. any other, so many other literature. Sadasevya Sadaseva Bhagavata Katha iti. That's the Sravana Matra Harim Chitam Samsrayate. By hearing, Lord himself comes and sits. Pravishta Kannarandra, through years, Lord comes and sits in the heart and cleanses all the infection. That is the effect of Bhagavata. So there's the last one about the glories I will show you. This is a very nice verse, 258. No, 25. Sorry, 284. Sinvatam sadhaya nityam grinattasya suchestitam kalena nati dirgena bhagavana visate. So here he says that person who hears Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of God as Sri Krishna manifested in their heart within a short time. Within a short time, very short time, if you hear, you see the difference. It's not just like a exaggerated homage of Bhagavatam. No. We are not here to do the exaggerated homage of Bhagavatam. It's a practical thing. You hear every day, you see that Lord will heart you. There is a manifested, Lord will manifest it within the short time in the heart. You say we can notice the drastic change, transformations of the heart by every day regularly hearing Bhagavatam. Very attentively, rapt attention. These sages are saying that, the verse is there in very fast canto, they are saying that sadhu sadhu pade pade. Let's see. First canto, they say that Bayam tuna vitripayam uttama sloke vikarne yes namantam rasagyanam sadhu sadhu pade pade. So we never try hearing transcendental pastime of the Lord, who is glorified by Him and praised. Those who have developed the taste for transcendental relationship with Him, release hearing the pastime at every moment. So people, those who are really developed this taste, they will be very easy. And to develop this hearing taste, one should do what? One should associate with devotee. It is said that we cannot develop this things without association of devotee, because now we do not have taste. We have a taste for social media, we have a taste for this hearing about Shahrukh Khan, hearing about from Bollywood, Hollywood cricketer. But here it says sususya sadadhana sa vasudeva katharati sen mahata sevaya vipra punya tirthani sevana. So the hearing, the twice born says, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vice, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva. So that means by association of devotee, one can develop the hearing, the taste for hearing. We don't have a taste for hearing for the first, in the very beginning predicament, beginning shortcoming is that the prima facie shortcoming that we do not have any urge for hearing, taste for hearing. So in association of the devotee, when devotee, particularly those devotees who are always discussing about the Shastra, talking about Krishna, because devotee association means Ravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Bodhoyanti Parasparam, always talking about Krishna. Somehow or other we associate with them, then we can develop the hearing, taste for hearing. Then by this process of taste for hearing, then we hear, we come to the stage of love of God. This is the process. So therefore it is said that by process of hearing, even after you do not have taste for hearing, you associate with devotee, you will get the taste. Even Krishna also gives a concession in Bhagavatam. He says that somehow he is not knowledgeable in hearing from authority, he will go back to Godhead. Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita, the concession is given by Krishna. Krishna say that somehow or other, anyatu evam ajnanata suto annebhya upasate tepi charita chatitrananti tepi chati taranti eva murtam suti parayanaha. So Krishna say again, there are those who, although not conversant in spiritual knowledge, begin to worship the Supreme Person upon hearing about him from others, because of the tendency to hear. If you have no tendency to hear, then that's all. You are sinking in spiritual life. You have a spiritual disease condition. Because of the tendency to hear, from authority, they also transcend the path of birth and death. Even a person is so not knowledgeable, simply a tendency to hear from the authority, one can transcend. That is the effect of Bhagavad. Therefore, Prabhupada has given an order that every day one should hear. Every day there has to be a class in the temple, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class. In the very morning where mind is fresh. He never put the Bhagavad Gita in the morning. He put the Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam is a very complex, difficult. It's a graduate study. It's more elaboration, expansion of Bhagavad Gita. Morning our mind is fresh. When we hear Bhagavatam, we can assimilate Bhagavatam properly. Because without rapt attention, this is important also. So we should hear with rapt attention. Without rapt attention, one cannot assimilate the Bhagavatam. It is stated in this beautiful verses in Bhagavatam that with rapt attention one should hear Bhagavatam, not that one should hear just casually. So here it is said that O learned Brahmana, when Sukadev Goswami, this Sutta Goswami is saying, first time it was spoken by Sukadev Goswami. Actually, Sukadev Goswami heard from the 4 people. There's a verse is there. He's saying, I heard from the 4 people previously. Narada, Devala, Vyasadev, then Agastya. The 4 people he heard. So Sutta Goswami heard from Sukadev Goswami. So he told that I heard him with rapt attention. Thus by his mercy I learned the Bhagavatam from that great powerful sage. So rapt attention, not that you are so casual. Audience should be very rapt. Now I shall try to make you hear very same thing I learned it from as I have realized it. So this is called disciplic succession. Hear rapt attention, you give it to others. Hear from Prabhupada, and Prabhupada says that if you sufficiently hear properly and apply it, then you can also distribute this knowledge to others. This is the glories of Bhagavatam. So I already told in my topics is also about the summary of Bhagavatam. So in 12 canto 12 chapter 2, the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam summarized. So here I can just read out the summary. We have no time for going through all the things, but another classes we go through all the summary of canto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. But here summary is there. In this chapter, Sutta Goswami summarized the subject discussed in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The Supreme Lord Sri Hari personally removes all distress a person who hears about his glory. Whatever the words glorify the innumerable transcendental quality, whatever the words glorify innumerable transcendental quality of the personality of Godhead are truthful, auspicious, and conducive to piety. This is very nice. This is spoken in 12:59 also. And so, whereas all the words are impure, whereas all other words are impure. Anything which is not connected to Krishna, impure word, impure sound. Discussion of the topics concerning Supreme Personality, Supreme Lord, bestow ecstasy, which remain constantly new, but person who are like crows become absorbed in unessential topics, those unrelated to personality of Godhead. By chanting and hearing the countless names of Lord Sri Hari, which describe his glorious qualities, all human beings can be relieved of their sins. Neither knowledge devoid of devotion for the Lord Vishnu, nor footy work not offered to him, have any real beauty. By constant remembrance of the Lord Krishna, on the other hand, all one's inauspicious desire are destroyed. One's mind is purified. One attains devotion for Lord Sri Hari, along with knowledge filled with realization of detachment. Sutta Goswami then stated that previously in the assembly of Maharaj Parikshit, he heard from mouth of Sri Sukadev Goswami. First of all, these glories has been given, glories of Bhagavatam. And secondly, Sutta Goswami say that in the assembly of Maharaj Parikshit, he heard from mouth of Sri Sukadev Goswami the glories of Krishna, which annihilates all sinful reaction. Then now he has related these glories to sage Naimisarana. By hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the spirit soul is purified, obtains salvation from all sins, all kind of fear. Through the study of the scripture, one achieves the same result as that achieved by one who studies all Vedas. See, one also achieves the fulfillment of all desires. By studying with a controlled mind this essential compilation of all the Puranas, one will reach supreme abode of the personality of Godhead. Every verses of the scripture Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam contain the narration of the Lord Sri Hari, who has innumerable personal form. Finally, Sutta offers obeisance to the unborn, unlimited Supreme Soul, Sri Krishna, as well as to Sri Sukadev Goswami, son of Vasudev, who is capable of destroying the sin of living being. So, whole summary has been given. Actually, in this particular line, in this particular chapter, so it is stated that all the Canto 1 to Canto 12 has been given in a very summary study. So, but Prabhupada say that one should not jump into the 10th canto. One should hear step by step, step by step, step by step. Because canto by canto, canto by canto. Although 10th canto is directly broadcasting or narrating or depicting the subject matter of Krishna, that doesn't mean that one should jump. 9th canto will prepare you. Otherwise, one cannot assimilate the 10th canto. Therefore, Prabhupada says step by step, canto by canto, scrutinizingly, one should study regularly and scrutinizingly. Particular word I am repeating. Regularly, scrutinizingly study Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Otherwise, very difficult. Because everything starts with the lotus feet. Canto 1 to lotus feet. There is a verse is there. One should worship the Lord. One should everything from the lotus feet. Everything starts with the lotus feet of the Lord. Then it goes to the face and head and forehead and I think 2 to 13. In this verse, Bhagavatam, it is say that that everything should start from the lotus feet of the Lord. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord, progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then calves, then thighs, in this way higher and higher. The more your mind becomes fixed upon the different part of the limbs, one after another, more intelligent become purified. So everything starts with the lotus feet. Therefore, our Bhagavatam should start with the canto, not that randomly here, there, one cannot assimilate Bhagavatam. It should very systematically, one should start from the canto 1 and subsequent canto. So, on this notes, we will end this one, as we have already started our Bhagavatam study from the canto 1 chapter wise. So, we will continue that. I am planning for every day morning, we will give a class, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, so that we can finish it soon. And we can, morning time is very fresh and we can assimilate. So we're planning for next week, we'll start the Bhagavatam course from the morning, every chapter by chapter, from Canto 1 to Canto 12. Thank you very much. All goes to Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananda Kodi Vaishnava Munda ki jai. Thank you very much for attending this Bhagavatam special class on Ekadasi day. Hope you will be understanding this importance, paramount importance, and glories of Bhagavatam, glories of hearing Bhagavatam particularly. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.